sneaky old man named Gonella. What a weird name, isn't it? Well, Gonella was really a tricky kind of guy. He would go around from village to village and he'd trick them out of their food and their money. So he always kept a full belly and he always kept full pockets because he always was such a clever guy. But the name of this story is The Five Clever Girls. So Gonella one day was walking down the road. He'd never walked down this road before, and he came to a village he had never seen before. And standing outside, the only people he could see was this one little girl. Now, he thought to himself, this little girl doesn't look really smart, so I bet I can trick her really easily. So he walks up to the little girl, and he says, "Miss, can I please speak to your father?" And she said, "I'm sorry, sir. He's busy. He's busy making many from a few." He had no idea what she was talking about. But luckily, right as he was about to ask her again, her younger sister stepped out from behind her. So he turned to her, and he said, "Miss, may I please speak to your mother?" And the little girl very politely answered back, "I'm sorry, my mother's busy. She's busy making something better from something good." Now, he didn't understand that answer any more than he understood the first answer. So he sighed and he wasn't sure what to do. But just then, a younger sister stepped out from behind that sister. So he turned to her and he said, "Miss, may I please speak to your brother?" And she said, "I'm sorry, my brother's busy hunting in between heaven and earth." He was getting really frustrated now because he didn't understand a word they were saying. Just then, an even smaller sister stepped out from behind the third one. So he asked her, "Little girl, can I speak to your grandfather?" And she said, "I'm sorry, my grandfather's busy closing a door to keep it open." He's like, "You're speaking in riddles. I just don't understand." Just then, the littlest girl stepped out. Now, she could barely walk and talk, so he bent down really close up to her and said, "Little girl, can I speak to your grandmother?" And she said, "I'm sorry, my grandmother's busy. She's busy baking bread we've already eaten." He just lost it. He's like, "You naughty, naughty girls, you're lying to me." And the little girl's like, "No, smell." And they smelled, and he smelled the bread baking. And they're like, "We ran out of bread yesterday, so Grandma sent us over to the neighbor's house yesterday, and we got 5 loaves of bread. And we came home and we were so hungry we ate all of them. So this morning, Grandma made bread for the day and stuck 5 loaves in the oven, and the minute she stuck them in the oven, she said, 'Oh my goodness, I've got to bake bread for my neighbors. I'm baking bread I've already eaten.'" He was like, "Oh," Gonella was like, "I understand now." And he's like, "Because I need to find out what all of these riddles mean." So he went to the next girl and he said, "Little girl, you said that your grandfather was busy closing a door that was already open. Or opening a door that was closed." And she's like, "Well, he's over in the river and he's fixing a net. A fish broke through a hole in the net and made this huge hole. So he's got to sew it closed. But it needs to be open or else the fish they're gonna die. So he's closing a door to keep it open." So then Gonella went to the next little girl and said, you said that your brother was busy hunting between heaven and earth. What did you mean? And he's like, she points up to the trees and says, he's busy hunting sweet cherries in the trees up there. So he's neither on the earth or in heaven. All right, he said, I ought to be able to guess this one, but I just don't. What did you mean when you said that your mother's busy making something better from something good? And she said, my mother's over at the dairy, and she's churning cream into butter. Cream's really good, but butter's even better. Finally, he asked the oldest little girl, little girl, you said your father was busy making many from few. What did you mean? And she said, my father's over in the fields, and he is planting seeds, and for every seed he plants, he's going to get 100 pieces of grain from it. So he's busy making many from a few. Gunnell was really, really happy that he understood what all the girls said, but he decided because these 5 clever girls were so clever, there was absolutely no way he was going to be able to trick those adults into anything if the kids were that clever. So that is how 5 clever girls saved their village from Gonella, the sneaky, sneaky thief. And that is our story.